Good morning, good morning, good morning, community. How are you? Jenenne Macklin here, transformational speaker, wealth guide, and catalyst. And I'm back in one of my old places I used to always be whenever I talk to you guys, which was in the car. One more running around stop before Thanksgiving. Just wanted to hop on right quick. Now, I understand that it's being celebrated in the United States. Thanksgiving is our holiday. But I really believe no matter where you are when you hear this, it can't be offensive for you to pause for a moment to say thank you. So even if you're not celebrating and have the holiday off like we will tomorrow and be with family and friends in your country, it still is a good time to pause and say thank you. On Monday, I talked a little bit about what I have these cultivated as the different stages of giving thanks and the different energies around giving thanks. That we grow up learning to say thank you because someone may give us candy or coins or things like that. And then as you keep going, you learn that there's gratitude. And we talk about gratitude a lot. You want to be grateful. You got to be grateful. Don't be selfish. Don't be grateful. But in addition to gratitude, there is also another level that really relies on that invisible power that is really creating our life and orchestrating our lives way more than we know, and probably way more than we give credit to. And when we can tap into that energy and live from that awareness in all things and through all things, that's when we can really begin to see the power of giving thanks, but more importantly, of appreciation in our lives. And so that's what I just want to hop on for a moment today. We're very much aware of gratitude. Be grateful for what you have. Be thankful for what you have. You know, we used to hear stuff growing up that, people don't have what you have. So we always heard about the children in Africa and what was happening to them and all that kind of stuff. But now it's a little bit more different because it requires that we look deeper beyond just what's outside of us. I'm sorry. I'm parking and driving. Give me a second. We look deeper than just what's outside of us and really begin to look at what's inside of us and how we can have appreciation for that and live from that awareness in the midst of difficult times. And this has been, a transformational year for me. I haven't spent too much time in anger or frustration. I know quite a few people have, and some of you have moved into fear. I think I felt fear once, and it was so much I thought, well, I can't live there. But one of the places we don't land and stay is appreciation. And appreciation is a high energy. It's a high vibration. It's more than gratitude. It's more than giving thanks. Because usually when we're looking at giving gratitude, it's because we've received something. Someone's given us something. Thank you for the sweater. Thank you for the card. Thank you for the compliment, which we still don't even say those things and acknowledge them easily and effortlessly. But appreciation, it's really almost hard to describe. But I like to think of it as, hi, Danielle, how are you? You know how, and this is really the top part of it, it's called raving. How when something really, really exciting happens in your life and you're so excited and you're looking for someone that you want to tell. It may not be that someone gives you something, but it's just something clicks or something comes together, or finally you get the pieces really, really clear. And there's an energy that wells up inside of you. And that's the energy that I'm talking about when I talk about appreciation. How much do you just simply appreciate the life that you have, the experiences that you attract to you, even though I know you don't believe that, but many of us do know that you attract to you, and just appreciate the life that you have, the quality of the life that you have, the people in your life that you love, the people who do love you, even the people you argue with. It takes energy for someone to love you enough to even argue with you, because they could be like, forget you, and go on about their business. So appreciate those who do argue with you, because all of these situations that make us uncomfortable, that make us anxious, that make us nervous, really wake us up to be present to what's bigger than what's right there in the moment. It wakes us up from the slumber that we easily find ourselves in. It wakes us up so that we truly are living an awake life, not a life that's on automatic pilot, not a life where we're just checking off, getting things done, but a life where we're present in that experience in every moment. And when we can live from that, then we can appreciate. We can appreciate the transformation that's happening on the planet. We can appreciate the fact that everything has been slowed down to almost a crawl. We can appreciate that it's come time for us to turn inward. This whole whole year has been about turning inward, and we've been running outward. We have been so through with being pushed to be inside and stay inside that they're breaking all kind of rules just to be out, to be in a club, to go to a movie. I understand now you can rent a movie theater for $150 if you want something special. We're running. We want to get out. Let us out. Let us out. Let us out. And the universe has basically said, no, it's time to go within. Turn within. Live from that place within and anchor yourself within. And when we do that, that's where we find appreciation. Because appreciation is an energy. It's a feeling. It's being able to recognize and appreciate the stars, the sun, the clouds. What takes us up real, real high and we're laughing and having fun. What also drops us down, which has more to do with how we perceive a situation than the situation itself. You know, everybody didn't drop down throughout this whole electoral process. Everybody hadn't been mad and angry and frustrated throughout this whole process. Some people have, some people haven't. So it's when you can find those places that aren't that comfortable, don't feel that good, and you can still have appreciation for them. When you're doing the hard stuff and the hard work and nobody seems to be supporting you, and you know you still got to do it to get to that next destination, is being able to appreciate yourself for making the steps and taking the actions. So I would offer, as you go forward in this time of pause, because that's really what it is. I know you'll be looking at football games. I know everybody thinks it's just eating food, but it's really a reset. Reset your own sense of appreciation for what we do have. If you haven't traveled out this country, you may not know that even in spite of all that there is in the history of racism and the race war that continuously goes on in the United States of America, we still are a pretty cool country. And what we have to offer for people who are here is really still amazing. And then what the universe has placed inside of us to discover is also even more amazing than just this place that we call the United States. So for me, appreciation is about diving within to the vast yumminess that's inside of us, activating that, becoming aware of that, and then walking around for a day in appreciation for every single thing that you see, because every single thing that you see comes from that one source. You can say, well, man created the cars, but who gave man the idea? Who planted that seed within? Well, man created the technology, but who planted the seed within? Oh, mom had a baby, but who planted the seed within? Everything that you come up with, my question to you is going to be, who planted the seed in the invisibleness of the universe for that to become a reality? And that's the source that I'm saying you go back to. And that's the source where you bow at the crown, you bow at the altar of appreciation. Appreciation for every breath that you're taking unconsciously, unresponsibly. You don't have to be responsible for your breathing. You know, you always hear me say that. You don't have to be responsible for your heart beating, or else it wouldn't, because you get distracted with the new thing that they put on the screen. But there is a presence and a power that's beating our hearts and breathing our breath, that's sustaining everything that there is. And for that, there's a warmth of appreciation. And appreciation usually comes without words. It's just a feeling that you hold within, that you walk around in this planet, on this universe. And then you permeate that feeling out into the universe. And it touches others around you. And others who are walking around with that same kind of high vibration of appreciate. I appreciate the difficulties. I appreciate going through the storms of life. Because you know, you go through the storm, you're going to come out on another side. I appreciate the challenges I had to make with living at home and navigating my children and navigating my finances, because maybe I was or wasn't prepared. I appreciate all those valleys that I had to go through, because there's going to lead to that mountain that's coming next. I appreciate it all. There's nothing where I'm damning anything to hell and get rid of it. I appreciate all of it. And as you appreciate it, the universe gives you more to appreciate, especially when you can walk into those hard places and walk those journeys and stay there. Most of the times you walk in those journeys without another physical person with you, but the divine presence, that infinity of the universe that's inexhaustible, that's everywhere present at all times and in all things, is right there with you. And it's beginning to live your life from that knowingness and appreciating things. One of the biggest things is we seem to be the most ungrateful people on the planet. You get one thing and you say, oh, that's great, but what about this? You have a version A, well, what about version B? What about version C? We're being programmed to not like what we have because someone else has something better. I have one and they have two, and their two is better than mine. That's all brainwashing. That's all to get you to buy and buy and buy. Version 1, version 2, version 3, they're all amazing because they still come from that one amazing, powerful source and presence. So maybe during this next 24 hours or 48 hours, depending on what time you give it, you can steal away and sit in stillness and just ask yourself, what do I appreciate? What am I in deep appreciation for? I deeply appreciate the love that I had for my family when they were here, in our growing up, in our Thanksgivings together, and our laughter and our fun and fussing. I so appreciate that to this day, and I haven't had it in easily 30 plus years. I appreciate the guidance that my grandmother used to give me when I'd sit at her feet, and I loved my grandmother. She was straight out of the ancestor book of how to raise children, but I still loved her and still love her to this day. I appreciate those moments that I had with her and those moments with my family and my father, even though they've long been gone. And I appreciate the moments with my son. I appreciate hearing the wind blow and feel it against my ear and it tickles my ear. I appreciate the sun rising and watching something blossom and bloom and being able to recognize that and be still enough and conscious enough to capture it and not be so busy running around doing all the other stuff. So you too begin to take a moment and look in your life to see where you can sit quietly and just say to the universe, I appreciate every breath that I breathe. I appreciate every heartbeat that comes for me, and each moment that I have that heartbeat, because that's the only thing that's keeping us alive. I appreciate all my moments of stillness, my waking ups and my falling asleeps and my dreams and the sunsets and the moon. I appreciate those difficult times where I just give up and say, I don't know what to do, or the tears run down my face. And then slowly as I come out of that, the answer unfolds. I appreciate that intuitive guidance that pops up as my intuition or my divine intervention that says turn right, turn left, call this person or do this or do that. And it's always right on time. What do you appreciate? Your unequivocal love for it. You don't want anything back. You're not asking for anything in return. You're just sending appreciation out into the universe to loved ones, to those all over this planet, to the aliens, to the extraterrestrials, to everything on this planet, to the trees, to the plants, to the soil, to everything. Appreciate it all. The good, that's what we've defined it. The bad, the universe doesn't call it that. Just appreciate it all as you go forward. So whether you're in the United States or not, this is for you too. In those places and spaces where it's even way more difficult than it is here, take a moment and just see. You appreciate that baby's hug. You appreciate that kiss from that little one. You appreciate those tickles. You appreciate those hugs. Then bask in what that feels like. The next time you get a hug from someone you love, just bask in how that feels, to have that contact, to feel that energy being shared with you. And then go out into the world and live your life sharing that energy out more and more and more as we continue to go through the transformational period that we're in right now. And let that carry you on to the next day and the next day and the next day. Take good care. Have a wonderful holidays. Good to see you. Have a great time. Kat, if you come on here later, and Constance, if you come on later, and Crystal, I haven't seen you in a while, to you and your family, to all of you. Happy Thanksgiving, to a great appreciation day to everyone, no matter where you are in the United States or out of the United States. You're loved, you're appreciated, you're cared for way more than you ever know, and way more than you may even give the universe credit for. Take good care. Have a great day.